Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to 30 Days of Sketches. So these are the two photos I'm going to be using for the sketch. They are two shots of the inside of the Wilderness Lodge in Walt Disney World. Today's sketch is by, I can't read it, it's so small, Brooklyn, just a scrapbooker, and this is the sketch that she created for 30 Days of Sketches. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so I am starting off with this almost trunk-like looking wood grain paper. As you can see, it's less of a wood grain and more of tree bark, so I think that this was really cool. I also have this khaki colored paper that was sitting off to the side that I thought would be really awesome to accentuate that middle section on the layout that she has created in her sketch. Now I am going to go ahead and trim down my wood paper. I trimmed it down to 11 by 11. I'm placing it on top of this French vanilla cardstock. I have no idea if that's the true color of it, you guys, but it looks like French vanilla ice cream to me, so that is what I call it. Just kind of like this is technically craft cardstock, but it looks like khaki, so that's what I'm calling it. I'm going to put down my center pieces like in the sketch. So I'm using this kind of meshy kind of twine stuff. It's not really twine, but it's mesh. This was something that we used to use all the time back in the day, and as you guys know, I'm kind of going through a 90s revival with my scrapbooking, so I've got paper tearing and mesh and all kinds of good stuff. I also have this fabric piece right here that I'm going to trim down and place over top of the teal colored mesh. And that's just gonna give me that little peak and that little pop of color since everything else is so natural. I am gonna use that Nouveau Deluxe adhesive between the mesh and the ribbon. This is not technically a ribbon either. It's almost like a belt material, but I'm gonna call it a ribbon for this purpose. I'm gonna use my wet adhesive because I want it to adhere and don't want it to fall apart. Now I'm going to place my photos very similar to how they are in the sketch as well. I decided not to matte them. I thought about bringing in the teal color here as well, but I thought it would be a little bit overwhelming. I want it just to have just a tiny little pop of that teal color. So I am going to put my title over here in the lower right hand corner. I've got these khaki colored banner strips that have been sitting in my stash for a very long time. So I'm going to finally get these used up. That's one of my goals. And I grab these kind of creamy colored glitter thickers. You really can't see a whole heck of a lot of glitter on here. They are kind of a muted glitter. And I'm going to spell out wilderness, and then I will find another font to stick underneath of wilderness and spell out the word lodge. Now the word lodge is going to be super sparkly, and it will be in that same kind of teal, aqua color, whatever you want to call it. So those little bits are going to be the pops. The teal and then the sparkly word of lodge is going to be the pop on this layout where everything turns out to be very kind of natural and neutral. And what that does is it kind of draws your attention in, and you kind of, your eyes dart around the page a little bit like, oh, what should I look at next? Or maybe your eyes dart around my page like, what the heck am I supposed to be looking at? Either way, your eyes are darting around the page, and that's totally fine with me. So I get those letter stickers down, and now I need to add in my decoration. So in the sketch, the embellishment is represented with some stars. I am not going to do stars. Can you believe it? Like, it's very weird. I will admit though, guys, I saw the stars and I thought about pulling out Star Wars Land pictures and scrapbooking them with Star Wars Land pictures, but I decided to go a little bit differently. So I'm definitely happy with how this layout turned out. So I've got these kind of transparency leaves, and these are from 49 and Market. and I'm just going to place them around my photos, very similar to where the stars are actually in the sketch. So I have these little like darker greeny, and they even look a little bit teal. And then the more greener with a little bit of yellow and white in them, kind of peeking out of the top. I am going to bring in some flowers, and I am going to place these around my layout as well, just where I think they look fun. And I also have these little burlap flowers that have beads on them. Now I also brought out this flower that has the rhinestone in it because I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring in more sparkle than what I already have on the layout, or if I wanted to leave it like it was. Ultimately, I left it like it was. What I did do was cut that leaf, kind of acetate piece. That way I could have a little bit more of the leaf showing on the upper part of my photograph. And now I'm going to place down the little fabric-y flowers with the little beads on them. And I'm just kind of sprinkling them about where I think that they look good, and it's just giving it a little pop of something fun. Now I am putting these flowers on with my ATG, however I do stick some Nouveau Deluxe underneath of them as well, because the little guys are fabric and then the big guys are paper, so I want them to definitely stick. Now, the final thing I'm going to do is go into my wood veneer box, and I'm going to pull out some wood veneer flowers. So instead of using a flare or a metal bit in my middle of my flowers here, because they look naked, I'm going to use these wood veneers. And I really love the tone-on-tone effect that's going on right here. So after I dollop a little bit more glue on the page, that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Let me know in the comments below if this kind of color scheme floats your boat. I'm loving this. I feel like it might not be my usual thing, but I'm loving it. So there it is. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again real soon for another video.